How's it going, Yankee fans? Welcome back to Fireside Yankees with your boys, Alex and Ryan. So we have a couple of things we've got to talk about. I think we got to break down why the Yankees are struggling right now. They just went 1 for 3 against the Baltimore Orioles, and they got destroyed today. And that's putting it plainly. Gleyber Torres gets his first home of the year. We love that. Obviously, good for him. Get on the right track, hopefully trend in the right direction. But man, this team is not good enough to compete with the Baltimore Orioles. And it's kind of obvious. Now, we won the game against Corbin Burns, which was, if we were going into the series, that's probably the game we would have said to ourselves, well, yeah, that's the one we're not winning. Ends up winning that one 2-0. The pitching has been pretty solid for the most part. Of course, Rodon kind of had a couple of bad innings today. But otherwise, Luis Gil, tremendous. Cortez looks solid. Schmidt has looked good. This is, and Stroman's look solid. This is a team that's kind of surviving without Garrett Cole right now. And to be quite frank, we're without Aaron Judge too. Because the version of Aaron Judge that we're getting is the version that we did not pay for. It's the bargain bin version. It's the one that, you get when you need to go to the Dollar Tree to get your wife a last second Christmas gift. That's the type of Aaron Judge that we're getting right now. We're not getting the $300 million version of him, and we want to talk about that. What's going on with him? What is up? He's physically fine. I mean, he's playing every day. He's not taking any time off. They're not giving him rest days. Why is he struggling? Why is he not even struggling? He stinks right now, man. It's not even like I can sit here and tell you that there's hope on the horizon. He's just horrible. He's 1 for 13 in this series, and you need your best players to step up and contribute when you are up against the best of the best. The Yankees can't only beat the crap out of bad teams. You got to beat the crap out of good ones too, especially if you want to be a World Series competitor. What we just did against the Baltimore Orioles, we'll face them again. We'll have chances to return the favor. We'll have chances to get right and trend in the right direction. And I'm not sitting here telling you it's doomsday, but I want to talk about why there are concerns right now and what they are. So Ryan, before we dive into it, how you doing today, my friend?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I mean, this was a bad game. This was a bad series. This has been a couple of rough games for the Yankees. The way I look at this stretch, the way I look at the recent play is, as you mentioned, Aaron Judge, where are we? The Yankees need him to step up. Without Garrett Cole, there was more of a reliance on the offense to get things going. And, not to say that the offense as a whole has been great. There have been some guys who have slumped. There's been some guys who haven't been good enough. But everyone's kind of been solid, right? Anthony Volpe's got, a 115 WRC plus. I know he's been cold lately, but, you got a 115 WRC plus from Anthony Volpe. It's a pretty good outcome, right? If you look at Zips or whatever, Zips has his 80th percentile outcome as a 120 OPS plus. I think expectations shifted for him the second he started getting really hot because oh my God, this could be a star. If he's a good hitter, an above average hitter, it's a solid outcome for the Yankees. Look at Verdugo. He's been good, for the most, not even just for the most part, just a good player flat out. Soto's been remarkable. You've got stretches from Rizzo where he's looked good, and now he's kind of slumping again. It's a little weird. He's kind of on and off, but overall the season numbers aren't terrible. There is enough outside of Judge that the Yankees should be putting up runs like it's nothing. And it's really frustrating to waste good starting pitching performances. Sometimes a guy just lays a stinker. Rodon just had a stinker today, is what it is. But when you're looking at the rest of this lineup, the rest of this offense, whatever it may be, Judge is the guy who keeps this ship moving. I know Gleyber is a guy who hasn't hit relative to expectations, but Alex, I'll be damned if I think that Gleyber not being good hurts the long-term outlook of this team. If you truly don't believe in Gleyber and you're the New York Yankees, you can move on from him. You could do it during the year. You could cut him. You can do whatever you want. You can bench him. He's a free agent, right? You don't have to worry about his long-term outlook. That is not your problem. You know what I mean? With Judge, he is the highest paid player on the team. He is the largest luxury taxi on the team. It's early. It's May 2nd. Guys have gotten off to worse starts and ended up the season significantly better. But Judge has to get it going. If he doesn't get it going, this offense is going to get it going. And in terms of just offensive approach, right? It's hot today. It's 95 in Baltimore. It's windy. It's wispy. The ball's really traveling. What the fuck are we doing up there? What the fuck are we doing? You're grounding out 4, 5, 6 times in 2 or 3 innings. Are we kidding me? You know what I mean? I get it. It's Kyle Bradish. He's coming back from UCL sprain. There are hanging pitches where it's why are we not swinging at this? And then they'll take 2 pitches down the middle or 2 pitches that are fastballs over the plate. Look, I'm not going to try to call out an individual player here, but I think an at-bat that kind of encapsulates this is Anthony Volpe. He took his first at-bat of the game. take a strike on the outside part of the plate, a fastball, then swing at breaking balls away. Anthony Volpe is chasing over 37% of pitches over his last 70 plate appearances. I don't know who's in his ear. I don't know what he's thinking at the plate. I don't know what conversations are being had with him. But what is the swing decision making there, right? Like, that's your leadoff guy. Ever since they've moved him to the leadoff spot, he's chasing more. Like, that doesn't even make sense, right? Like, you might think, oh, he's pressing. Pressing to do what? To drive in 5 runs? You're hitting in front of Juan Soto. Like, you can't even use the excuse of, well, Judge has struggled. The guy you're hitting in front of has been every bit as good as advertised. He is your offense at this point. Then in regards to other players like Gleyber, dude, Volpe makes a really good defensive play. And look, for all of Volpe's ups and downs offensively, defensively, the guy's a stud. +3 outs above average, +3 defensive runs saved. Just one of the better defensive shortstops in baseball, right? And I'm always going to be happy with his play because he's a good defensive shortstop. Good stop. There's a chance for Rodon to maybe get a little bit deeper into this game to help him out here because he's really struggling. And you're going to barehand a flip? You can't get that guy at first. Get the out at second. Use your glove, get the out. It's so mind-numbing. The team gets in its own way all the time. They lead the league in grounding into double plays. They make ridiculous errors on the base paths that you just can't fundamentally understand. This is a really talented ball club. They're 20-13. They have one of the best run differentials in the American League. If I'm not mistaken, they have they're right behind the Orioles in run differential. They're right there with them. They're a game back from the Orioles. They haven't been playing dramatically different baseball. It's not like we're talking about 2 different teams that have played fundamentally different baseball. It's not like the Orioles are without Corbin Burns. The Yankees are without, Garrett Cole. It's not like Gunnar Henderson's been awful. Gunnar Henderson's been remarkable. Aaron Judge has stunk. So it's just like, I'm not upset at being 20-13. I'm not. I'm just frustrated that they're going out there and either A, getting in their own way, or B, just making really dumb mistakes. Or it just feels like they're getting outplayed, as you mentioned, by teams that, either it's splitting with Oakland, which I get it. They took it serious from the Orioles, but like, come on, you got to beat them. You know what I mean? The Red Sox swept them. Take care of business. You know what I mean? And then just, again, offensively, like, go out there and do damage. Go out there and crush the baseball. Go out there. You're the Bronx Bombers. You can't do station to station. You're not fast. You're not athletic. Like, Stan's not burning anybody on the base pass. Juan Soto isn't stealing second and third like this. You know what I mean? I know he's tried to swipe second a couple of times, but he'll get thrown at third. Like, he's not a fast guy particularly. Aaron Judge isn't Kevin Kiermaier, Harrison Bader speed-wise. He's your center fielder. I get that, but he's not that fast. Launch the baseball. Put it in the seats. Like, the Orioles, it took them 3 swings to put this team out of the game. Put teams out of the game with the home run ball. When we were in Milwaukee, how did the Yankees get back into or bury the Brewers? It's with the long ball. It's not this station-to-station stuff. You're not a fast team. You are not capable of doing that. You cannot play that brand of baseball. Your brand of baseball is good play discipline, working walks, and then hitting bombs. It's punishing these guys. I'm tired of seeing hanging breaking balls. Grace Rodriguez pitched against the Yankees with shoulder inflammation and shoved it down their throat. He made some big pitches when he needed to. Absolutely. Credit to him. Credit good pitching. Orioles pitched their tail off. Yankees had a lot of good starts. I get that. But Alex, like, it's kind of come and go, right? It's like one week they hit 5 home runs in 2 games. The next week you couldn't get a home run from this offense if you needed it, if your life depended on it. It's an inconsistent team. I think that'll iron out, but it doesn't make it any less frustrating. Is it a long-term concern? I don't think so. But is it frustrating? Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, this is, like you said, it really isn't the Yankees brand of baseball to be trying to hit for contact and, play the small ball game. And that's kind of the direction that they've been going in this season. At least that's the one that, like, Aaron Judge and, Cashman kind of suggested might be in store. But they don't have the right players to play that game. You know what I mean? I mean, Soto can do it all. Right? Soto can walk. He can hit for contact. He can get on base. He can pick up a single. He can pick up a double. And then he can hit a home run. The problem is Judge is not that type of player. Like, he is usually, historically, home run or, he doesn't really, he's not like the guy that's going to steal bags for you and get to third base after hitting a single. That's why I know what you have Volpe for. Judge is the guy that's supposed to be driving runners in. And the fact that he's struggling this much is extremely concerning. Now, if you look at his kind of percentiles and where he ranks across the board, this is a guy who still manages to find his way into the 97th percentile in average exit velocity, 89th percentile in barrel rate, 95th percentile in hard hit rate. But then you look at his sweet spot percentage, it's in the 44th percentile, whiff rate, 11th percentile, strikeout rate, 25th percentile, walk rate, 90th. Is he getting unlucky? maybe he's just missing some of these pitches. He's not seeing it. He's taking a little bit longer than usual to get hot. But like, is there, you know what, Ryan? This might sound crazy, and I'm going to say something that maybe a lot of people will disagree with. But is it possible that because Judge is not the guy that the Yankees are leaning on as much anymore, that there's Juan Soto there, that he doesn't feel as pressured to be, like, maybe he loved being the only guy, like the guy that produced on a bad team, the guy that was everyone was leaning on to be the offense. He had no pressure on him. Now there's a little bit more pressure. It's like, all right, well, Juan Soto's doing all this heavy lifting, and I'm not doing my part. And maybe that thought process is starting to creep into his mind. Like, I'm just not as confident as I was. I had nothing to lose. Our team wasn't good. There was nothing to lose except for me hitting. Now it's like Juan Soto's hitting, I'm not. And everyone's looking at me like, what the hell's going on? You know what I mean? Is he just a little bit off mentally? Because physically, he looks fine. His swing path is fine. His hard hit percentages are fine. His slugging metrics look fine. He's obviously doing the things that he usually does, but he's not producing the same results. What could possibly be happening with Aaron Judge if the practice, the process, and everything is the same, but he's not getting the same production? To me, it has to be a mental component that's missing here. It's got to be something. I don't know what it is. My take before is completely like just rooted in, I'm guesstimating, guys. I don't know. Just like all of us, I don't know what's going on with him. But to me, it has to be something in his brain. It has to be something that is in his confidence. I don't think he lacks motivation. I don't think he lacks work ethic. I think he's one of the hardest workers on this team. And I think he always will be because he loves to be a Yankee and he loves the game of baseball. But is there something to be said that he's kind of been struggling lately? And Ryan, do you think that there's a world where the Yankees take Judge and move him back up to the number 2 hole and just switch it up? You know what I mean? Just give him a clean slate. Just give him another. He hit number 2 last year. Why not just switch it up and see what happens? Because right now, Soto's going to hit no matter what. He actually prefers to hit number 3 in the batting order. Is there a world where they could just flip out those 2 guys and kind of say, hey, Judgy, clean slate, you're batting 2 now, let's see what you got? Do you think there's something, maybe hitting above Soto and having a little bit more pressure on him to be the guy that gets on base first? Maybe playing with his mental state could be beneficial. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it's going to take to get him right. Like, that's kind of the thing I'm struggling with right now. I'm not, like, as you mentioned, you kind of look at, like, okay, what are the underlying metrics telling you, right? And number 1, it's so early in the season that it's hard to get a good read on that. But number 2, you're like, okay, he's not barreling the baseball up as much. That's obviously a big thing. It's the outside pitches, man. Like, they're killing him, right? Like, the outside pitches are getting to Judge. I have a weird theory. I think Judge maybe should stand a little close to the plate. Maybe that could help him. I'm going to look at maybe, like, I can check maybe there's a dip in bat speed. Like, I don't even know, man. Like, I can try to see if there's a dip in bat speed, but, like, no, it's up. Like, his bat speed, he's swinging harder. So it's like, I mean, my theory is I think it's just maybe stand a little closer to the plate, maybe crowd the plate a little bit more. He's got the bat speed to beat pitches inside, right? So maybe, being a little bit closer to the plate lets him beat those outside pitches. And when pitchers realize maybe they can attack him he's going to be acclimated enough or confident enough he can make the adjustment. He's got quick hands. Like, the guy, he's Aaron freaking Judge. You know what I mean? So I think maybe a little bit closer to the plate. That's my number 1 theory. That's like my screw it, try it out. I don't have an answer yet, and that's a little bit scary, right? Like, Rodon, you kind of had an answer last year. It's like, he's not getting strikeouts. That's like the immediate alarm bell of, like, he's not getting strikeouts. Guy came in spring training hurt. You kind of know something's wrong. Cortez, same thing. There are usually reasons why a guy slumps. I'm not necessarily sure what it is for Judge, so we'll see. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at right now. We're in guess mode. And then another interesting point in regards to, like, the man on this team, right? Soto's the guy, right? Like, Soto's right now the guy. You can't not pay him. I vehemently believe the New York Yankees have no choice. You absolutely have to pay Juan Soto. For all of the things that's like, oh my God, this has gone wrong. That's gone wrong. This sucks. Oh my God. Again, they're 20-13, and that's all thanks to Juan Soto, basically, on the offensive side of things. He's been, since day 1 through today, there's no slumps. He's just Mr. Consistent. He's so good. He's such a marvel to watch. He's 25 years old. He's made so many skill progressions, blah, blah, blah. Like, he's a really good player. And then the last thing I want to float out here, and I guess, you guys should watch our prospect videos, but Ben Rice, like, dude, no disrespect to, like, Stanton or Riz or whatever, like, yo, I need to see some competition for at-bats. Like, respect. Like it's about 2 years of this. It's about 2 years of like, with some of the veterans, it's like, I don't think you guys are as good as perhaps the Yankee personnel believes you are. You probably wouldn't have those roles without guaranteed contracts, that kind of thing. I kind of just want to see. I just want to kind of see what Ben Rice got. You know what I mean? I just kind of want to know what he's got. Like I don't know a single person in the Yankee organization who has nothing but good things to say about him. They rave about him. If you rave about a guy, you got to play him. That's my thought process, right? Like, you can't tell me how good a player is, and then I think the offense is a little jump, a little spark, and he's not the guy I'm seeing. You know what I mean? Like, no one shows off something they don't like having, right? I talk about, let's say, like, I'll brag about my abilities to play blitzball. So when somebody goes, hey, Ryan, you want to play blitzball? I'll play blitzball with them. I'm not going to say, no, I don't want to play, because I'm good at it. I want to show off a little bit. You've got a good player? Show them off. Let them play. And kind of just a wraparound point here, you've got to beat your AL East opponents. The Yankees are below 500 against AL East opponents. Not good enough, right? Like, just not good enough. Got to beat your division teams. Again, I feel good about this team holistically. Big picture, like, zoom out a little bit, a little less angry, whatever it may be. Got a little bit of the frustration out maybe earlier in the episode. 20-13. They're on pace for over 95 wins. I feel good, right? But it's like, dude, Judge has to get clicking. Like, the only thing you're scared of is that doesn't fix, right? And I feel like that fear grows bigger and bigger. And look, again, it's May. Things could change, but May has rolled around. Judge needs a big month. Can't be bad in April and May. He's got to have a big month, Alex. If he doesn't have a big month, then the criticisms are going to get greater. But it all rides on him. Like, if he doesn't turn it around, I kind of don't, like, are we going to ask Giancarlo Stanton to be an MVP? Like, what are we going to ask from everybody else outside of, like, Glaber for them to do that's realistic and is fair at this point? Like, are you going to ask Rizzo to hit 3 home runs in a series, every series? Like, it really just comes down to Judge, right? Like, you've got to play better. You've got to be this team's captain. Like, I need to see this. I need to see you play better. You need to play better. You need to hit better. I'm confident he can do it, but where's this team going without him, right? Like, where is this team going without him? There's no Garrett Cole. This is where he needs to step up. I need something to happen here.
Yeah, we need something to happen. Look, there's a lot of issues on this team. I mean, I could list them off. Third base is going to be a problem. John Birdie in a World Series, no thank you. DJ LeMahieu, I don't trust the guy anymore. I hope to God he comes back and contributes, but until I see it, I don't believe it. Oswaldo Cabrera, love the guy. He should not be a starting player. Like, he is a great utility piece, and that is what his role should have been and should be. And obviously with the injuries, he has to step in. Rizzo, been better recently. Hopefully he can maintain this pace and keep getting better. Gleyber Torres, he's been horrible. Like, not even just bad. Gleyber Torres has been one of the worst players on this team. And it's been hard to watch because he's a good player. Gleyber Torres is a good player. But guys, Gleyber Torres is writing a story right now, man. The Yankees, they're getting every little bit of information on why they did not extend him, and why they wait until the end of arbitration to make these decisions. Gleyber Torres, there's a 95% chance he's gone this year. And why? Because he has been volatile ever since his start with the Yankees, right? Every season is another story for him. One year, like, holy crap, this guy's one of the best second basemen in baseball. And the next year, like, holy crap, this guy can't hit a freaking with a paddle. You know what I mean? It's like, it's tough. And I love the guy. He's such a good teammate. When he's on fire, he's so good. Hit a home run today, but it's not enough. It's not enough. To be a great player on the Yankees, to be a consistent and an everyday player on the Yankees, you got to be consistent every single freaking day. You know, you can't disappear for 2 months. You can't disappear in the playoffs. I'm willing to give Judge a lot of slack because he is that talented and he is that good, and I have no issues with him struggling for a bit because he's been so good for so many years. We're just trying to figure out why he's been so bad, what's going on with him, not that he can't turn it around. So that's really my perspective when it comes to Judge. But Gleyber Torres, this is a story we've seen before. You know, this is not an unusual circumstance. Rizzo, he's getting older. Ben Rice, get ready, buddy, because your name's getting called in the future. It could be next year. You know, guys that have impressed, Jose Trevino, really, really impressed by him this year. Picked it up offensively and has been an excellent defensive catcher. Luis Hill, freaking round of applause for Luis Hill. We're gonna talk about him tomorrow in our episode in the morning. We'll drop that probably in the early afternoon because I think it's worthwhile to discuss how just amazing he's been. I want to talk about the rotation when Cole gets back too, because I think there are some interesting situations going on there that when he returns. But you know, in addition to that, Verdugo, bam, like really great player right now for us. And Volpe's going through a little bit of a hot stretch. I wonder what happens when DJ comes back, if they want to move him out of the leadoff spot. I don't know. There's so many things that could happen, but this infield right now is dragging the Yankees down. It's really Judge's cold stretch and this infield dragging them down. You can't have Gleyber Torres batting sixth, just destroy Judge and Gleyber Torres. If those two guys are playing well, even at like their historical average levels, this offense is scoring 4 runs a game. You know what I mean? Like this offense is producing every single day, and they're producing against good pitching. But when you have two of your most important key variables in the lineup failing over and over again, it's not just an everyday thing. It's an every day, every week thing. You can't succeed. Baseball is a team sport. Look, Juan Soto can hit as many solo homers as he wants, and we love him for it. But it's not winning baseball games, right? Not winning baseball games. Other teams, Baltimore Orioles are a perfect example. These guys get on base, man. They hit consistently. They make things happen when they have the opportunities. And the Yankees pitching has been good enough to win baseball games. And I want to continue to hammer that home. The Yankees pitching has been good enough without Garrett Cole to win baseball games. So pitching is not a concern to me. At the deadline, we're going to have Garrett Cole, Lou Trevino, Scott Efros, and Tommy Kahnle back. We're going to have 4 key players to this team returning from injury. So at the deadline, if there's anyone that the Yankees should be looking to go and get, throw the names in the YouTube comments, because I do think there are going to be players. I know you may have a thought on that, but I love Luis Arias. That would be awesome, but it's a pipe dream.
Yeah, what I want to throw in here is just, again, like you mentioned the pitching. The Yankees are, after giving up 7 runs, the Yankees are top 3 in ERA and have the second best win probability added. The reason I mentioned win probability added is to kind of take away any naysayers saying, oh, well, it's all low leverage crap. The Yankee pitching staff, without Garrett Cole, with their bullpen, I mean, I'm sorry, Alex, like the bullpen, look, we always say the bullpen will be fine, but they're really pushing the limits of guys they can have in their project names. Guys who don't have established MLB success that's in that bullpen. They're really pushing the limit with that there. Their bullpen's kind of running on fumes, right? Like, let's be real here. It's not... Like, Ron Marinaccio is firing scoreless innings for the Yankees right now. Ron Marinaccio is dealing. Like, you're just like... You've rolled 6... If you needed to roll a 6 on your pitching staff, the Yankees have rolled 2, right? The offense, it's again just like getting back to Aaron Judge. Like, it's just, and of course Gleyber Torres. I mean, I don't really have, like, I feel like frustration doesn't describe it. He really is a hard watch when he's not playing well. It really, really, really is. And Aaron Boone was actually asked, I saw his tweet, Aaron Boone was asked about maybe flipping Judge and Soto in the order. He said, we'll see. But I also want to point this out. Juan Soto's comfortable hitting second. Why does Juan Soto have to move from his spot? Because the captain can't hit, right? Like, I've seen guys slump. Derek Jeter had like a 32 WRC plus on like May 2nd in 2004. He's had some bad slumps. This isn't like I'm not like using the captain in like a way of like, oh yeah, the captain. Like, no, a captain slumped before. I've seen, Derek Jeter's one of the most iconic Yankees ever. I've seen him play dog crap baseball. My point more so is, Aaron Judge has to hit. He can hit 4th, 5th, 6th, 1st, 9th, 8th, whatever. He's got to hit. Same pitches. It's 93 down the deck, right? Like, Jacob Webb threw 93 down the cock. Like, I think one of us could hit that. You tell me there's 93 down the middle, I'm finding a way to put at least the bat on ball. Like, you gotta hit that baseball. That's down the middle. You could hit second. Man, he could be the most comfortable situation on planet Earth. Sun is perfect, weather's exactly the way he wants it, backdrop's perfect, the wind's blowing the right way. If you can't touch 93 down the middle, that's a you problem. That's not a lineup order problem. And Aaron Judge has apparently been begging Boone for years to hit third, so I don't really think it's a batting order thing. I really don't. He's got to hit, man. He has to hit. Like, it's the second year of a 9-year deal, too, so he's really got to hit. And then in terms of Gleyber, like, at least Judge is playing good defense, right? Like, Gleyber, like, come on, man. Like, it's tough because you can see, like, Gleyber's not even hitting the ball hard, man. Like, what did he do over the offseason? Because we saw him do a lot of work over the offseason. Does he not know that hitting the ball hard is a good thing? Because, like, he did it last year, and he was great. He had a 123 WRC+. plus. People can say it's on a bad team. Man, hitting is hitting, man. Hitting is hitting. Hitting is hard, whether you're on a bad team, good team, great team, awful team. You're a good hitter, whether you're the best hitter on the A's or the best hitter on the Dodgers, that still makes you a good hitter, right? You know what I mean? Like we're talking about like, okay, deadline additions, right? You think I'm gonna say hold my nose to Luis Ariz, go like, actually, I don't want him. He stinks because he's been playing on a bad Marlins team. If the guy's the batting champion, man, if the guy's a 130 WRC plus, his team could be 0-162, and I'd want them here. So I don't want to hear team quality. I don't want to hear anything. I just want good hitters, man. Like it really does feel like the Yankees, yeah, as you mentioned, yeah, they need a little oomph. And I'll go out here and say this. In an ideal world, the Yankees find a guy who can hit fourth. Now, maybe that's Verdugo, but I'd prefer him hitting sixth. I just think that, in an ideal world, that's what you got Verdugo to do. Guy who can hit cleanup and really do damage. I need a guy who does damage, man. I don't need a guy who's going to ground out to first. I don't need a guy who's like, I gotta figure out a way to put this ball in play. Like, nah, dude, if you swing and miss on 0-1, who cares? You get another pitch back. Go hit the next one out get the next one out. You see what Soto does? Soto has a really good approach at the plate for multiple reasons. Number one, he takes his daddy hacks. He'll swing and look pretty ugly on an 0-0 pitch if he thinks it's his pitch, because that's what you're supposed to do. That's what good hitters do. I know where people got this idea that whiffing is always a bad thing. Yeah, striking out sucks because it's an out, but I want my guys taking their A-hacks. I feel like a lot of these guys aren't getting off their A-hacks. Like, Labor's not getting off his A-swing. He's not going up there thinking, ooh, when I get this fastball, if I get it down the middle, I'm crushing that thing. Volpe, same thing. It's like, dude, you see a fastball down the middle, swing at it. Because you know what's going to happen? You're going to be down 0-1. You're going to see that slider that looks like it's going to be a borderline strike. You're going to chase at it. Now you're down 0-2. Now you're in defense mode. Boom, you're back into the dugout. They're on the back foot now. They did a really good job of not doing this early, but now they're doing this, and it's a problem. They're on the back foot so much, dude. They're down in counts or whatever. Go out and get these guys, man. Like there's a lineup full of really talented players. Like go do your damage. It's frustrating, man. It's just a frustrating stretch of baseball. Look, if the Knicks win tonight, like I think tomorrow I'll wake up out of bed and I'll feel pretty good, and I'll give you guys a little bit more of a positive mood. But like, I try to separate being a fan and like talking about this team. I try to do my best with it. But like there are just some frustrating things. Like I think it's just like today sucked. Today sucks. This series sucked. This start sucked. It felt like, you were going to win this game. You took a lead, and it's just like the Orioles just go bam, 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 bam. You're down 3-1. You're out of the game. Like it's like it feels like the Orioles know how to do damage. It doesn't feel like the Yankees know how to do damage yet. They got to figure that out. Got to do damage. I'm tired of this, man. Let's hit bombs. Be the Yankees. Bronx Bombers. B-O-M-B. Hit the ball hard, please.
Yeah, we got to get back to what we are good at doing. And speaking of my kind of opinion before, saying maybe the Yankees should change Judge and Soto in the lineup. Apparently, somebody asked Boone about it, and they said we'll see. So maybe I was onto something there. Maybe they will actually look to switch him up. And Judge clearly maybe isn't seeing. Maybe right now I think kind of Judge is not seeing the best pitches because they know where he likes to swing at. They know he's going to chase sometimes out of the zone. They know he's going to get attacked lower in the zone. Maybe he sees better pitches, when you have, it's crazy to think, but like I could totally see like Soto leading off and then Judge hitting number 2, and like in a world where that would make sense. I wish Volpe was just like still red hot. I love Soto in the 2 or 3 spot though. You can't do it. But Judge hitting number 2. I mean, he was so good there last 2 years. Like why fix what's not broken? Soto loves hitting number 3. Judge has hit number 2 the last couple years. Maybe you go back to doing that, and we'll see if he can spark his production back up. But guys, always happy to hear your thoughts below in the YouTube comment section. Make sure to like and subscribe as always. We'll catch you guys on the next Fireside Yankees episode.
Perfect.